When I arrived in the United States a year ago, I had no job. I had no friends. I had no daily routine. Many days felt quiet and heavy. Many mornings I did not know why to get up. In this story, I tell how my life in Chicago slowly changed. You will hear very simple English on purpose. Hard words are explained in easy ways along the way. This helps you listen well and learn. The first chapter is set in the past. Here you practice the past tense in English. Later, I talk about my life today. It is about work. It is about free time. It is about routines. It shows how a simple rhythm helps you feel at home in a new country. When I came to the United States, everything was new. I had lived in Chicago for only a few days. The city was big and loud. The buildings were tall. The streets were crowded. I knew no one. I had no friends. I had no job. I had no set plan for the day. Each morning I got up and did not know what to do. Sometimes I stayed in bed for a long time. I listened to the sounds outside. Cars drove by. People went to work. I felt like I did not belong. In the first weeks I left the apartment only rarely. I was afraid of making mistakes. I was afraid of not understanding the language. In the grocery store, I did not understand many words. I needed a long time for simple things. That made me tired. It made me unsure. The days were often quiet. I spoke little. I listened a lot. In the evening, I felt empty. I often asked myself if my decision had been right. I thought about my old life. I thought about my family. I thought about my friends. Everything was far away. Time passed slowly. One day felt like two. I had no rhythm. I went to bed late. I got up late. Sometimes I ate nothing warm. Sometimes I ate too much. I moved little. My body was tired. My head was full. I knew I had to change something. But I did not know how. I tried to set small goals. One day I went for a walk. I walked through my neighborhood. I saw cafes. I saw parks. I saw people who laughed. That made me sad, but also curious. I began to go out a little bit every day, sometimes only 10 minutes, sometimes 20. I heard English in the street. I understood single words, the word work, the word time, the word morning. I started to like these words. I wrote them down. At home, I read them again. I began to read a simple book in English. At first, I understood almost nothing. That frustrated me. Still, I kept reading. Every day, a few pages. Sometimes I read the same sentence 5 times. Slowly, it got better. I understood more. I was happy about small successes. Once I understood a whole paragraph. That felt good. I began to make fixed times. In the morning, I got up at the same time. I ate breakfast slowly. I drank coffee. I looked out the window. After that, I went out. Not for long, but regularly. The regularity helped me. It gave me support. I looked for work. I wrote applications. Many stayed unanswered. Some were rejections. That hurt. But I kept going. I told myself that patience was important. I learned not to fill my days too much. 1 goal per day was enough. Sometimes the goal was only a walk, or a chapter in the book, or a talk in a store. Slowly I felt safer. The city became more familiar. I knew where I bought bread. I knew which streets were quiet. I knew where I liked to stay. The loneliness did not disappear at once, but it became softer. I understood that a new life needs time. That routine is not boring. It is necessary. At the end of these first months, I still did not know how my life would look, but I knew one thing. I needed a working daily routine. Without it, I cannot build my life in the United States. Now I will tell you something important. After a year in the United States, I have built a real daily routine. In the beginning, I had no rhythm, I had no plan. The days were empty. Today it is different. I have fixed habits, I have calm, I have structure. That was not easy. It took time. It took patience. But it was very important for me. A routine gives safety. A routine gives support. It makes life easier. Now I will tell you how a typical free day looks for me. Then I will tell you how a typical week in my life is, so you can see how my life has changed. On a free day, I wake up calmly. I hear no alarm. I stay in bed for a short moment. I think about nothing. Then I get up. I go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. After that, I go to the kitchen. I make breakfast. It is simple, but it is good. I sit at the table. I eat slowly. I drink coffee. I look out the window. The city moves. People go to work. Bikes pass by. I feel calm. After breakfast, I read the newspaper. I read it in English. I do not understand everything. But that is okay. I mark new words. I learn a bit each day. If the weather is good, I put on my running shoes. I go outside. I go jogging. I run through the park. The air is fresh. My breath is calm. My mind becomes clear. I do not run fast. I run regularly. That is good for me. If the weather is bad, I do not stay at home. Then I drive to a gym. There I play tennis. I play with a coworker from work. We speak English. We make mistakes. That is normal. We laugh a lot. After sports, I am tired. But I am satisfied. After that, I feel hungry. I go to my favorite cafe. I go there often. I always order the same food. The staff know me. They greet me kindly. The cafe is special to me. It was one of the first places where I felt good. On my first visit, I saw a worker there. She smiled. I was nervous. I fell a little bit in love. That is my small secret. After lunch, I either go home or meet friends. When I go home, I read a book in English. I read every day, even if it is only a few pages. I started very early with this. Reading helps me a lot. It helps me learn. When I meet friends, we do simple things. We go to the movies, we take a walk, we sit in the park. Sometimes we drink something together. Sometimes we go bowling. Bowling is extra fun for me. It is relaxed. You do not need perfect speech. In the evening, I go home. I keep it calm. I sit down. I meditate for a few minutes. I breathe slowly. After that, I go to sleep. This free day is simple, but that is exactly what makes it good. Now I tell you how my week looks today. That is something special for me. A year ago, I had no real week. The days were empty. They had no shape. Today, that is different. Each day has one task. Each day has its place. That makes me feel safe. I no longer need to think each morning what to do. I know what comes. That takes pressure away. A fixed week is important for me. It helps me stay calm. It helps me focus. It helps me feel at home here. Now I will go through my week day by day and tell how my life works today. Monday starts early. The alarm rings. I get up. I do not stay in bed. I have learned that. I go to the bathroom. I get ready. After that, I have breakfast. It is simple. That is good. Then I take the train to work. I work in a small office in Chicago. I do not have a big job, but I have a steady job. That is important for me. I work in customer service for a company. I answer emails. I make phone calls. I help people with simple problems. At first, I was very afraid of this work. Not because of the tasks, because of the language. English was hard for me. When I came to the USA, I had no job. I did not know where to start. I wrote many applications. Very many. Often I got no answer. Sometimes I got a rejection. That was frustrating. I felt small, but I did not give up. I also went to companies in person. I asked for work. Sometimes that was embarrassing, but it helped. One day I got an invitation to an interview. I was nervous. I prepared well. I spoke slowly. I made mistakes. But I was honest. I said that I want to learn, that I want to work. That was important. A few weeks later, I got the job. At first, everything was hard. I did not understand everything. I asked many questions. My co-workers helped me. They were patient. Today, it is different. I know my tasks. I know the processes. Monday is a quiet work day. I work step by step. I take my time. At lunch break, I sit with co-workers. We talk about simple things, about the weekend, about plans. I listen. I speak when I want to say something. In the afternoon, I keep working. I notice that I have become more confident. Not perfect, but stable. After work, I go straight home. Monday is not a social day for me. It is a preparation day. At home, I cook something warm. I eat slowly. I think briefly about the way here, about the time without work, about the insecurity. Then I let these thoughts go. I am thankful for my daily life. In the evening, I go to bed early. Monday has its place in my life. Before, I had none. Today, I do. I notice that at once. The tasks are the same. The work is the same. But I am more confident. When a customer calls, I stay calm. I take my time. I explain things with simple words. If a word is missing, I describe it. That often works better than perfect sentences. My coworkers notice that. They help me less than before. Not because they are unfriendly, but because I need less help. That feels good. On Tuesday, I often have longer talks, not planned. They just arise. Someone asks me something. I answer. Then we keep talking. About work, about small problems, about things that annoy us now. I like these talks. They are normal. In the break, I do not sit still. I am part of the group. I listen. I say something. Sometimes just one sentence. But it fits. After work, I do not go straight home. Tuesdays are for clearing the mind. I change clothes. I go jogging or drive to the gym. While doing sports, I do not think about English. I do not think about work. I just move. That is important for me. After that, I am tired. But clear. At home, I eat something simple. I make nothing big. I tidy up a bit. I prepare things for the next day. On Tuesday evening, I do nothing special. And that is exactly good. The day was full enough. I go to bed and know that Wednesday is waiting for me. Wednesday feels slower than the other days. I work from home on this day. When I started that, I was unsure. I thought it would feel lonely. But it is not like that. Wednesday gives me peace. I do not need the train. I do not need to listen to noise. I am alone with myself. That is good for me. I start to work. The tasks are the same as in the office. Emails, calls, small problems. But at home, I work more focused. I talk less. I hear my own voice. That is sometimes strange. I notice how much safer my English has become. In the past, I did not like my own sentences. Today, that is different. I hear them and do not think about them. On Wednesday, I also see where I am still slow, where I must think, where words are missing. I write these words down, not many, only the ones that return again and again. That is my learning in daily life. In the breaks, I walk to the window for a moment. I look at the street. People pass by. Each person has a day of their own. Mine is calm. At noon, I eat alone. That does not bother me. I enjoy the silence. Earlier, I feared such moments. Not now. In the afternoon, I keep working. Without talks, without noise. I am with myself. When the workday ends, I sit a bit longer. I do not stand up at once. I separate work and free time on purpose. I have learned that. On Wednesday, I often go for a walk after work. Not fast, not far. I walk through my neighborhood. I see known places. That gives me a feeling of belonging. After that, I go home. The evening is quiet. I read, I think. I do nothing special, and that is why Wednesday is important for me. It brings balance to my week. Thursday is the busiest day of my week. I feel that at once. Many things happen at work. There are many meetings, many talks. In my team, Thursday is theme day. Each week has a new topic. Sometimes we wear certain colors, sometimes funny clothes. At first, I felt uneasy with that. I did not want to stand out. Today, I just join in. Not perfect, but honest. That is enough. Theme day makes the day lighter. It brings motion. After work, Thursday is far from over. On Thursday afternoon, I almost always call my family. That is a fixed ritual. We do not talk long, but we talk often. I tell them about my week, about the job, about small things. They tell me about home. These talks are important for me. They remind me where I come from, and they show me how far I have come. After the call, I feel calm. At the same time, I still have energy. On Thursday, I rarely stay alone. I meet friends, or I go to an activity. Sometimes we go bowling. Sometimes we just sit together. Thursday is not a deep day. It is light. It is not about big talks. It is about closeness, about laughter, about the feeling of not being alone. I do not go home too late, but later than on other days. On the way home, I often think of my family, of my old life, and of my life now. Both belong together. Thursday connects these two worlds. That is why it is the busiest day of my work week. Friday feels like weekend for many people. For me, it is different. Many think Friday gets loud and full. For me, it gets quiet. Friday is one of the calmest days of my week, maybe even the calmest. At work, I feel that at once. Everything moves slower. No one is in a hurry. Things that can wait, wait. I like this mood. It takes pressure away. Friday forces me to do nothing. After work, I do not go home. I have a fixed ritual. Every Friday I go to the planetarium. That is a special place for me. It is quiet there. It is dark there. I sit down. I look up. I do not think much. I meditate. Not long, but with care. I breathe calmly. I let the week go, the work, the talks, the noises. Everything stays outside. In the planetarium, I feel small, but not lost, rather calm. The stars remind me that not everything is important, that time is relative, that problems grow smaller. After meditation, I walk home slowly. I speak hardly at all. I hear no music. I enjoy the silence. On Friday evening, I need nothing more. No meeting, no distraction. I am with myself. Friday closes my week, not loud, but quiet. And that is what makes it so valuable to me. On the weekend, everything is different. At the same time, much feels familiar. I already told you how a normal free day looks for me. The weekend feels similar, but it gives more space, more options. On Saturday, I have no fixed plan. I get up later. I let the day unfold. Sometimes I stay home for a long time. Sometimes I go out. I handle things with no time during the week. I go shopping. I tidy up. I take care of small tasks. I often meet friends, not planned, spontaneous. We walk through the city. We sit in a cafe. We talk. Sometimes we talk about nothing important. That is nice. On Saturday, the day may stay open. On Sunday, everything slows down. Sunday belongs to me. On Sunday, I often go to the farmer's market. I like the mood there. It is quiet, yet lively. People stroll between the stands. It smells like bread, fruit, and coffee. I buy fresh things, vegetables, fruit, sometimes flowers. I chat with sellers, short sentences, friendly words. That is good English practice. After that, I take a walk. I wander with no goal. I think about the week, about what was, and about what comes. On Sunday, I prepare inside for the new week, not on purpose. It just happens. In the evening, I stay at home. I read, I reflect, I go to bed early. The weekend is no adventure, but it gives me strength. It closes the circle, and it shows me that my routine works today. When I tell all this, my daily life may sound plain. There are no big events, no spectacular moments, but that is exactly important. This routine carries me. Without it, much would not work. Through this steady rhythm, I can learn English, not in class, but in real life, in talks, in small situations. Through this routine, I have found friends, slowly, without pressure, simply because I am present. Through this routine, I have time for my family, for calls, for closeness, even from afar, without structure that would be lost. The routine also gives me room for sports, for movement, for my body. That keeps me healthy, in body and mind. Earlier, I had no routine. I had only days. Today, I have a life. It is calm. It is simple. But it is stable, and this stability has helped me arrive in the United States.